Episode 4,
Is
B.A.M.N
it 4,
podcast.
is it?
Yeah, 4, 3,
We are whacking them out. I'm going to put my seatbelt on for some reason again.
The new shades for this one.
New shades. Tell you, man, you have more shades than anything. I swear to fuck.
I don't know, I found these ones in the mask after. They're funky though, aren't they?
They're savage looking out. It's real festival buzz, aren't they? How's the body?
Oh, body's good.
Jason's just after doing a fucking sicko cycle from...
Across the country, from coast to coast.
You were doing that for what?
Scary's Youth Services. And to be fair, I didn't raise any money myself because I don't want to go a bit this year with just with running and stuff. So yeah. I said I'm gonna keep hounding. It's all the same people that give you the money, so I don't want to keep hounding everyone out.
Hounding everybody for a tenner.
Exactly. Yeah, the lads raised over 10 grand though, which is fair play to them.
Who was that? Ryan O'Shaughnessy?
Ryan O'Shaughnessy set up. Yeah.
Fair play to him, Ryan. Shout out to you there. Coffee in the morning.
Yeah, right on. Quick coffee in the evening now.
And that's it.
But some crack now, to be fair. I had a few ways out. I went out the Friday night and I was dying hungover and couldn't get off work because just targets had to be hitting work. So I got off work a bit early. I got off at 2:30. So they left at 8:30. I met them, left me stuff in the vans, got to work, got me a few bits done I had to do. Didn't hit the target, but I got a few cars sold. So good going, and then got on the bike. Shout out to Ashton, brought me everything I needed. She gave me the clip-ins, all the bits I couldn't get. Dropped them over to the job, got sorted. Got on the bike about 2:30. First time on the new bike, and fucking was on it for about 8 hours on my own. It's a mad thing. Again, delusional, talking to myself and all. It's weird.
You're blessed with Aisling, though, doing all that shit for you, man. What's going to happen? Poor Aisling is going to be gone next week, and I'm going to have to listen to this fella fucking crying. Breaking the Baba heart and this cousin.
You all will, to be fair.
But it was a tough cycle anyway, was it?
Tough cycle, yeah. No, to be honest, like it was more just like I'm 2 hours in, I know 5 hours, 6 hours left. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and then the last hour felt like about 4 hours because at that stage I'm just burnt out.
Oh, I need my headphones for that now.
I got that alone, like I obviously showed up and so a lot of people didn't think I was gonna do it. Like just was like I wasn't there, do you know what I mean? So like everyone's like, trying to talk to me, but I was just zonked. Couldn't even speak, couldn't focus talking. So I was like. Had a little chat with a few people, had one point and had a few fucking cocktail sausages and a few chips and went straight to bed.
I'd say they were all probably fresh and revitalised by the time you got there.
They were all twisted when I got there, to be honest. They were all locked out right. I bought me a pint. He was fucking
well on it.
He was grand, like, but with the cycling and then the drinking, he'd be drunk.
It looks savage looking from everybody's Instagram, even when you got down as far as Lynch. You had waxing sessions and the whole lot going on. Did you get anything waxed?
I'm off the waxing. I don't know torture that weekend. Fuck that. Oh, gas. Our fish has got the nipples waxed. Fucking gas.
The pain of that. I don't know how girls put themselves through that pain getting waxed the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm not even hairy and I'm just like, no way, the pain of that. No,
I've never done it, but it looks so. My people's reactions like, fuck that.
10 grand raised.
Yeah, I think
that's how many people cycle?
I'd say it was between 30 and 40. It's good crew, like good. It was good crack. Good thing to do. It was a good achievement.
Fair play to you, lads. That's a serious achievement. Anything, I think when you're doing any sort of activity and you can kind of incorporate charity into it, it's a good way to raise money and it's a handy way to raise money. And people kind of, if they see you're doing something that's a bit grueling and a bit tough, they're like, yeah, we'll throw a few pound into that. Whereas if you're just going around with raffle tickets and sponsorship cards and all that crack, it doesn't really get the same kind of traction as a cycle across the country. How many kilometres was it altogether?
I done 252, I think, and the rest of them did 270. They went from Malahide, I left from Finglas, so I was a little bit short. But I done the first half on my own, so I don't care.
I'd say your arses were all scalded getting off the bike. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the second day was tough because I was after getting there and I was wrecked, and I never said most I've ever cycled was 50k, and that was about 4 years ago. But I have the engine there from all the running, so it wasn't that. It was just the condition in the legs. But I'm going to be going for an Ironman now by the end of the year, so I want to send a big goal now for 5 months to do a full Ironman.
That's one of the main talking points I wanted to talk to you about. Like, you were so focused on the running and it was all, I'm going to do this marathon, I'm going to do that marathon, and then you just hit me with the voice note last week. You were like, fuck it, man, I'm just going to do this Ironman. I thought you were going to wait for me till I get my knee fixed, you fucking bastard.
I'll have a few tips for you. We'll do it together. Yeah.
I'd be just like, next year coming to do it, and he'd be like an elite level Ironman, and I'd be just coming paddy last with a buckety knee. Which
it's all about finishing.
No, definitely, you should just jump on it if you feel like you're fit. If you feel like the engine is going to carry over you from the running, jump on it straight away. Like there's no time like the present to do something, you know what I mean? So get on it.
That's it. Like Ashley's leaving me next week. She's going to America for a year, so if I don't have something to focus on, I could go anyway. Do you know what I mean? I know what I'm like, so I was like, I could feel something big. I was like, just in myself, I had a good feeling. I was like, something big is gonna happen. Like I'm gonna have to do something big, and then a few little things happened that kind of was like, had the Iron Man in my head, and I said, it's giving me goosebumps. Like the running, I love the running, and it's obviously incorporating it, but it just wasn't getting me flowing, and the Iron Man just has me like raring to go. So this week's kind of a deload week after the recycle and all that stuff, and then from next week on, like just flat.
So you're gonna have a big blowout this week.
I'm gonna have a big. We're going away. Me and Ashley's going away to the Killarney for a few days, so it won't be mad at me. Just a couple of drinks, dinner, and just kind of let myself loose. Lovely. Do a little bit of running, but then it'll be from next week on. Then it's just flat. I'm just gonna go into recluse mode. No, I won't be answering the phone to anyone. I'll be gone 2-3 hour sessions every day, and then big ones on the weekend, and just fucking.
And what's the plan? Who have you any kind of programming set up, or have you been in touch with anybody? Or
Yeah, Dara, the Up and Out Fitness. He's gonna program me, and then I'm gonna keep Kevin on board as well for the running.
Yeah.
And then just keep it because you need structure. I need someone who knows what they're talking about.
That's it. You can't just say I'm going to go for a cycle today and a swim tomorrow.
That's
and
it.
the whole lot. You need to know.
But you're not going to get the results. Like the difference I got with the results with Kevin from the running compared to doing it yourself. I mean, you have a bit of structure, and someone knows what they're talking about and knows what they're doing. It gives you some difference.
So an Ironman. Now I'm always like, I know a few lads from Longford that train the triathlon club and all that back home, and there's some serious boys. There's a lad in Longford there, David Sheridan, and he's an animal at the triathlons, and when not the triathlons, the Ironmans, and when people are talking to me, I never even think, what is the distance in them?
So it's a 3.8 kilometer swim either in the lake or
Dead.
the sea. So that's what I can swim, but like I haven't done that much. Then you're 180 kilometers on the bike, which is
staunch.
I don't know how long. I don't know like what I do. Say 150 be 2 hours, so through 3 times, so 6 hours, and then another. So you're looking at the guts of 7-8 hours. On a bike, and then finish off a marathon.
I'm looking forward to doing one of them because I love that. I love that when you're challenging yourself that much and you kind of just completely zone out and you're just kind of like you're just sweating. You even forget that you're training or you're doing something. And you're just kind of in that zone. So I'm looking forward. to seeing you go through the pain first, and then me coming in next year, hopefully.
Definitely, yeah. No, it's exciting though, and like genuinely, like gives myself goosebumps thinking about. I'm like, if I can pull this off in 5 months, like no one does it in 5 months. There's very few people, but I have a good base. Like doing that cycle, then doing the 135 kilometers was on Saturday. I done that by myself, and I could have done 180 if I needed it. I know I could have. I had it there, like in my head. I was bollocks after 135, but I could have done 180. So cycling isn't bad for someone who hasn't really cycled much. So it's just then adding everything to it and put the training. It's all done in the training the day. Look after itself. But the goal is to do it by the 20th of December. That's the goal. It's not going to be an official one. It's just going to do it for myself. If I can get an official one around the time, I'll do it. But if I can't, I'm just going to go do it.
You will, 100%. And as always, you're determined when it comes to doing something like that. And you're going to have more time to focus on things anyway. Not that your time was taken up too much with Aisling or with the other stuff that you're at, but you will have a lot more free time. And especially if you're planning on setting yourself a goal. I don't even know you that long. I only know you 4 or 5 months. I just know by the thick fucking head in your that you're going to get it done one way or another by any means fucking necessary.
That's it,
so
yeah, like, the difference between me as a person and then me when it comes to me training, and like try talk to me when I'm in the middle of doing something, or like when I'm finished a session, just leave me alone. I'm like animalistic at that stage. It's different. So I just have to go into that zone and go just as a recluse for a while. And I'm doing 2 hours training nearly every day anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's just been mixing with boxing and other stuff and MMA and all that.
Just have to pull that out.
Just cutting everything out and just go full Iron Man now.
I'm blanking a few people. It is hard. I'm in the middle of doing so much shit now as well, and I find it very hard to stay in contact with friends and not that I'm ignorant or anything, but you just don't feel like you're replying to half the stuff. But a lot of my friends kind of appreciate that. They know that I'm going to be putting in a lot of work over the next 6 months and a few things that I'm doing, and that hard work that you put in over 6 months, it just puts you years ahead, like, you know. That's if you're willing to do it, like, because
that's it. I've done that already. The 6 month thing where I just went completely just 6 months done, like, and the difference I made. So this will be my second stint. I'm gonna do 5 months this time. No drinking, no smoking, nothing. Just gonna go like completely sober, completely everything. And just like, and anyone who's close to me can understand that. They've seen what me do before. They've all been supportive. No one's been like, oh, fucking
dry shy.
Yeah, you got a bit of stick at the start, cause like, but they understand when you start seeing the results and where I'm going with it, and it's respected now. Like,
fuck the begrudgers. I was down home in Longford at the weekend, and I was chatting to a few boys, And it was just funny. It was just a bit sneering about becoming a yoga instructor and all that. And I'm just looking at the boys and I'm like, ye are stuck in a fucking time. Now, not all the boys. Most of the boys are doing their bits, but there's one or two boys there. And I was like, ye are just stuck in a time warp, boys. You're still drinking in the same old man's pub out the country, doing fuck all with yourselves. So,
Yeah.
say what you want.
Look, if they're happy, they're happy. Well, I just know that that's not for me. I need to be pushing myself. I need to be excelling. Like,
that's it.
And it's something, and I know I can. I've put myself through stuff. I've been building, so like, why not keep it going and just see where? Because as I said, there's no ceiling. Let's just fucking keep this lit.
That's it. Put the hammer down and see where you go. Because, like, there's only one way we're going, and that's forward. And wouldn't you want to get 5 years down the line, or 4 years down the line, or 10 years, whatever it is? Wouldn't you like to say, look back and say, I've done this, I've done that, and you'd be able to then progress into helping people get to those levels, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. And like, I feel like this would be a good way to help people as well, like, because you can see the journey through this. It's not going to be one-to-ones or like groups and stuff, but when people listen to it, they might get little tips and ideas, and what works for me might not work for other people, but
might lay a fire log up in their arse.
That's it, yeah. And to be honest, it doesn't really work like that, where it's like all of a sudden you hear something. It's a lot of building and becoming like it took me a while to build, but when you start getting to a certain level, then it's just like, right. Like after I done the last marathon, I'm like, it's hard. Like, you take a week, not that you take a week off, but you have to have your deload week, and then it's like, I was like, the next thing is another marathon. I'm like, that's not. I need to go bigger. I need to go bigger than this. Like, I know I can do it. Like,
go home.
The next goal was a sub 3 hour marathon. I'm like, I know I can do it. If I know what I have to do it, and I can do that. But it's like, I've done that to get to where I am now already. It's like, well, let me go see what else I can do. Let me go push it. Let me go do some other disciplines. Let's add it to it.
Push that ego. Like, when it comes to training, I find I get very egotistic when it comes to training, and it's not. I drop it as soon as I come out of the gym, or as soon as I come off the rugby field or the boxing gym or whatever. But as a fella, I think you need that kind of ego when you're going in training. I'm going to bust myself here, and I'm going to do better than anybody else here. You might not, but that's the ego I have going into something. I'm like, right, well, I'm going to fucking push myself here now, and I'm going to make sure that I lift that, and I'm going to strengthen myself up and harden myself up and try and do better than other people. And then when you have all your hard work done, the ego kind of goes away, because you know you're after doing the hard work. But I think that's something lads need to tap into. Yeah. Get that hardness into you and fucking go in and train. Boys are pussyfooting around. The money after coming out of Westwood there before you met me, there's lads parading, looking at themselves in the mirror and sitting on the phone and the whole lot. And I'm just like, you're in there, get your hour hard done and get out instead of fucking fannying around for 2 hours, like, you know. So
yeah, no, definitely.
Get that ego into you.
The ego's a big one. It's a weird one as well, because like, you need to make sure it doesn't go into other parts of life, and it does. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but to get to the levels where I feel I am, like, you need to have an ego. You need to feel like you're better than people. Like, and it might sound horrible, or it might sound, but you need to be like. I don't even look at like people being better than me. I'm just like, if I look at someone and they're doing well, I'm like, are they working harder than me? If they're working harder than me, then I can work harder. And if they're not, but they're still better than me, it's like, well, I'll catch them. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really comparing myself to people's abilities. It's more to their work ethic and what they're doing
as well. Yeah,
I think that's important,
because there is prettier, bigger, stronger, faster men out there. But are they actually, when it comes to putting the work in throughout the day, are they actually putting the work in?
Are they grafting? Yeah, it's consistency.
Yeah, and willing to actually sacrifice. Because I wasn't willing to sacrifice years ago, and now I'm just like willing to sacrifice everything to get where I'm going and get the boxes that I'm after drawing boxes on a journal back home of things that I want to get ticked off.
Yes.
And slowly but surely over the last 4 years I've been ticking them off. I have a big huge list there. I think there's 15 things on it, and I've 7 ticked off now over 4 years. It's a kind of a lifelong bucket list.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's where you just have to stay consistent with it. And having an ego like that, I have a different kind of, like, everybody meets me and I'm just Shawnee, kind of calm, relaxed, chill yoga fella. But in my own head, I still have that sicko mode from being in the boxing club, from doing strongman, from doing rugby. And it's good to be able to tap into that every so often, you know?
Yeah,
to get the training done.
I'm the same, you need to have that. It's like animal, like honestly, like just animal instincts, like kind of buzz when you're going, you're pushing yourself through these things, like, and you only build that by doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have that when I wasn't pushing myself. Like, I wasn't able to do, like, I hadn't got experience of it. So when you start needing it and you start tapping into it, and you're like, there's only one way to get through this, is if I fucking go dark. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. You see, with sports stars, like Ali, like, was the brashest shit talking as fella, but a lot of that was to make it, he said it before, it was to build confidence in himself talking like that.
Yeah,
because you hear your own voice, you hear your own words, and words do cast spells, and
you're affirming it.
You know what I mean? You have to affirm that to yourself. And I'd love for lads to start actually building a bit of confidence in themselves and just being able to say I can do that and I will do that if I put the work in. And
that's it. And it's saying it to people that you can say it to. I think you need to have people around that you can say it to. Like I can say to you anything. I can say I'm going to run 100 miles tomorrow, and you're not going to turn around to me and go, you're not going to
stop you. The first time I met Jason, he won't remember this. I was chatting to D13 down in the shelters, and you come up and you just said, well, to me, we hadn't met each other, and Connor was like, oh, what were you at today? And I know what you said, something stupid what you were after been doing, and I was like, this fella now fucking full of shite. And then I got to meet you then, and it was like, yeah, no, he is about that life. Because you know the way you hear boys saying, oh, I'm after running 30 kilometres there and done a backflip the whole length of Portmarnock Beach. I was like, that's what this fella is now when he's after landing. But after a couple of weeks of meeting you, I knew you were actually about that life. So.
Yeah. But that's it. But you need to have people that you can say that, because there's a lot of people that I could say that to random people and they'd be like, what? No, exactly as you said. Like I could have said that to you, and you'd be like, what the fuck's this fella talking about? But like, now that you know me, and I can say whatever I want to, but like, you need to have people that trust that you can do that just so yourself, and then you'll start being able to say it to anybody. Like I could say it to anybody now, and it wouldn't affect me, but other people could like say it, and then someone's like, oh, you can't do it, and then you're like, oh, maybe I can't do it. Do you know what I mean? But you build yourself confidence all the time.
I was just literally like, this is the type of fella now, if I went to Tenerife, he went to 11 Reef. 2 weeks later then I seen him out running, I was like, no, he's about that life. I need to get hanging around with that fella on that Diaz lifestyle we were going to be, I'm telling you. I have my knee consultation tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to see what he's going to tell me and what kind of timeline I can be back. It's been dragged on too long now. Obviously COVID fucked up a lot of stuff and slowed down. There's like huge backlog on knee supports. I'm lucky I'm getting fast tracked a little bit, so I'm hoping that I will be getting the surgery by maybe October, end of October. My yoga teacher training finishes the 9th of October, so I'm going to try and get it put back till after that, which means I'm going to get qualified up as a yoga instructor, having such a good wave of momentum from these sessions that I'm doing on a Wednesday night down in Portmarnock, and then I'm probably going to be laid up then for like 12, 15 weeks.
Without showing it?
Yeah, I don't know. An ACL surgery you're pretty lame after for 6 to 12 weeks anyway, so we'll see. I'll get back on it as soon as I can. Look at yoga, it's not like I'm doing anything too crazy, but it's just a bit of a sickener that I'm after building up this momentum, and it's probably going to be flatline for a couple of months. But I have an old saying, I don't know where I picked it up, before an arrow can be shot forward, it has to be pulled back, and I'm going to be ready to launch as soon as I get this knee fixed. And then
it's all uphill,
we're going to be the friendliness is going to be going out the window. It's going to be pure competition then.
I can't wait.
It'll be good crack though. I'm looking forward to it now.
I have a lot of catching up to do anyway, brother.
Telling you, when it comes to the endurance I will anyway.
You'll get there though.
You have to still come and do a few weight sessions with me, bud.
Yeah, will.
Get on the fucking weights.
This next 5 months though is going to be strict. Like it's going to be every day.
Yeah.
Every day, and just if it's whether it's recovery or training, or it's going to be on a plan. 5 months I'm not going to be doing anything.
And what are you going to cut out now? What's going to be kind of like, obviously the triathlon or the Ironman is going to take up so much because it's called an Ironman for a reason.
Yeah.
You will be made of iron by the time you're finished that. So what is going to be taken out? You're probably going to drop the jiu-jitsu and all that crap.
Drop everything, yeah, everything. Any other training, anything that's not cycle, bike or run.
Swim.
Not swim, yeah.
Yeah.
Cycle, bike or swim.
The swim would kill me. I was even I'm able to swim and it'll be out or whatever, but when it comes to doing lengths, I just can't get my breathing right. And I'm practicing in the plunge pool there, just dunking my head, and I'm like, it's like panic. It comes across me when I'm after holding my breath for like 20 or 30 seconds, and that's nothing. Like, you know what I mean? 20 or 30 seconds is nothing. So I think I definitely need to go and get some proper swimming lessons just to.
That's what it is. It's just investing in yourself. I taught myself how to swim. I just went Tuesday, Thursday mornings used to be right. I'd go for the swim pool before work, and I'd get into the pool. I'd say I spend half an hour here, and I do as many lengths as I can. So I'd do one, I'd stop at the other end, I'd look around for a few minutes, and I'd do another one, and I'd just keep doing that until I wasn't resting, and then I was going and just kept building myself up. I'm not a really strong swimmer now, but like I could go in the pool now and swim for an hour, and I'd be grand. Like,
I just need to swallow my pride, because what you're saying there is just do a length and take a break. The few times that I have gone into the pool in the last couple of months, I end up being dead after doing a length, and then I see some old dude or an old chick just up and down, and here's me supposed to be fit, healthy, strong.
It's a different thing.
As soon as you get into the pool, it's like, this is a different animal of fitness altogether.
So it's one thing getting tired when you're running or cycling. You can just you can stand in the swim pool, like you're like
stand up, get me head out of the water kind of thing, you know.
So, but the three good things like to do an Ironman now is going to be something else, and especially with the time I'm giving myself. But I talked to Dara, the coach. I was just saying to him, because I thought I was talking to him through after the marathon, and I was just saying, what do you reckon for a marathon in 5 months? He's like, to be honest, he's like, it's gonna be some graft, but you can do it. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want. You want someone like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, this is the man I'm gonna do it. He's gonna coach me. That's like, he's like encouragement, and he sees, like, I'm talking to him, he can see the passion in me, the fire in my belly now. Like, that's it. This is a goal. This is getting smashed.
You need yes men around you, and I know people, like, you hear about having too many yes men around you, but I know from experience, you can be around people and it's like, oh, you can't do that. That's going to be mad. Like, you're going to really put yourself through that. And it's like, I'm here with you now, and if you turn around and tell me that you're going to go out and fucking climb the Poolbeg Lighthouse chimney, I say, yeah, 100%, man. You know what I mean? Like, just encourage people, and that's what in society now at the minute, I think, probably why a lot of lads are afraid to express themselves or explore what they want to do with themselves, because they're worried about other people's opinions. And
it means nothing. I don't
park that.
I'll only take people's opinions. If someone gives me an opinion and says I can't do something, that's when I'll take their opinion on board. Other than a very select few people that I really trust. If someone's like, if they say, oh yeah, great, it won't really bother me. But if someone's like, no, you can't, then boom, all right,
that's fuel.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean? And that's just what I'm like, and that's how it is. But like, if like, don't take people's opinions that you wouldn't take advice from. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
That's what I heard that word. I was like, definitely, like, if you wouldn't take advice from someone, then what's our opinion mean?
Yeah, people's opinions. The way I look at it is, if they're not in your calls, they're not in your texts. If you're not fucking them or you're not splitting bills with them, their opinion doesn't matter. And that's the way I look at it. So
that's it.
Because everybody has an opinion, but whose opinions do you actually value?
And it's all coming from like their own self. Like, you know what I mean? The people's opinions are. It's what they'll set themselves like, but like, people, there's no one doing what I'm doing. Like, that's what I see. I don't see anyone doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm the same. That's what we've talked about this before. But at the minute, like, I'm working 2 jobs now. At the minute, dedicated to coaching a few yoga sessions a week, and I have that set in. Still trying to get my own training done, and still obviously trying to relax, kick back, and enjoy some stuff with friends. But it's hard to find a balance, and I do really feel like you were saying there about the next 5 months for you. I feel like this next 5 months for me as well, I'm going to be a bit of a recluse, because I have to get the yoga thing finished. I'm in the middle of doing 2 jobs at the minute. I'm also trying to get out of doing the 2 jobs, because I don't want to be working for anybody else, you know what I mean? And I really feel this, I'm getting such support and encouragement from the yoga, and I'm not even trained up yet. Yeah. Like 35 people turning up to a yoga class on a Wednesday night on the beach. I was chatting to 2 people that I'm doing that are yoga instructors, and they were like, Jesus, Shawnee, that's unreal, like, fair play to you. So hopefully this will be my stepping stone out, but until then I will be Overtime is my middle name. SOS Shawnee Overtime Smith.
Even for us to try to get a podcast together, it would be a nightmare.
That's it. We're on episode 4. I don't think we've missed a week, bar the week you done the marathon, was it?
We missed 1 week, I think, but we done 2 the week after, so we're like, right, we'll just backlog them so we have them, but we figure it out.
Look, we just keep whacking them out and keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully people will jump on board. We might even run a meet-up. I haven't even said this to you yet. I was thinking maybe doing a little bit of a fitness meet-up. You take the lads for a run.
Yeah.
This is aimed all at lads, not being sexist, girls, but there's so many great things going on down there on Portmarnock and in other areas around Dublin for women, and I think it's about time that lads start sorting out their health and fitness. Paddy Douglas and David Farrell are in the middle of running a men's rising group, and I had literally only said it to Jason the night before, and then Paddy Douglas have put up that, but it'll be a little bit different. I think myself and Jason could come with the motivation side of things and like fire up some fellas' arses and get them looking after themselves.
100%, no, I'm down for that, definitely.
Just one night a week, whether it was a 5k run or a 10k run.
It's half an hour.
Half an hour.
Just do a half an hour wherever you can. That's what I think. People push themselves for half an hour. I can't train with people who won't push themselves. I don't care if they can only run 1k, but they're trying.
Yeah.
If you come try training with me and you stop, like, and you're not pushing yourself, it's like, you know, like, I know it's hard and like everyone has to start somewhere, but I think if you push yourself and try, I'll give you as much time and I'll help you. But like, if you're just, if you're not giving it your all, just like, I
just respect people that are, I don't care what fitness level you're at. If you walk 5k, but if you're walking and you're sweating and you can't breathe, you've all the respect in the world to me. If you were sprinting and you're not giving it your full whack and you look like the grey fella ahead of the group, I couldn't care what you're doing, what your time is. I want people to be putting 100% effort, and I think that'd be a good thing for us to do. You take them for the run, come back up to me, do a bit of yoga, a bit of stretching out, and I'll take you through a guided motivation. It wouldn't even be a guided meditation you do. I really do. I want to light a fire up so many fellas' backsides because I see so many lads rolling around afraid of themselves, afraid of their potential.
And I'm telling you, like, the potential that you have without even realising it. Because I know I've on the drink, just like wasn't getting out, like just going home, go to work all day, like I go after work all day, and then I go home. I'd either go out for a few points or I just go chill in my room, watch Netflix. And like, you don't understand how much you're losing out on by not just putting a little bit of graft in, and how much I'm after getting done. Like, I remember looking at my notes, like all the stuff I've done, like how many marathons I've done this year, how many half marathons, like me 5Ks, like all the stuff I've been, and it's just taking them off all the time, and that's just from the just every day doing something. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. And even like probably some people, if they are listening to this, they're probably like, "Oh, I'm not into fitness. This isn't all about fitness. Like, it's about what you want to do with your life. If you have something you want to achieve, if there's a course you want to do, something you want to learn, go and do it. You know what I mean? There's too many people make obstacles up. I think, I can't do that because of this, and I'm like, you can.
To be honest, I go those days where I'm making obstacles to make things harder for myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I see something, I'm like, like it's like say it's lashing rain, and like I'll go, yeah, I can't wait to get out and run that, because like people won't. Do you know what I mean? People like use the obstacles just to prove to yourself that you're a fucking animal.
That's it. Get into that sicko mode of I have to get that done, and have a load of other stuff on that day as well. But I'll squeeze it in somewhere. Like, I'd be coming home from Portmarnock some Monday nights, and I'm not messing with you, I don't get back into BAMN cycling till after 12 o'clock some nights. You know what I mean? And that's because I know I've had a busy day after doing 2 jobs. I had to meet someone, I had to ring someone. But I'm like, right, Monday is non-negotiable. It's to Portmarnock, whether it's hail, rain or shine, get me half an hour yoga in, get me sea swimming, and whether I'm home at 12 o'clock or whether I'm home at 10 o'clock, it's getting done. And I'd be gliding coming home, no matter what time it is, because I know I'm after achieving what I had set out today. You know?
There's nothing, like, when you give in all the time, it's so easy to give in. But when you're not giving in to yourself and you're doing it all the time, when you won't, because you're like, oh, if I fuck this up now, I fuck it up. Do you know what I mean? But when you're doing it all the time, it's so easy just to be like, yeah, I'll give in.
And it's an L. You take an L every time you go soft, and I am not taking any more L's for the rest of my life. And that was the guys on the show. We took enough of them, so no more L's. Get me shit done and
build it up.
It's good to be like, even myself and yourself, motivating each other. I have friends back home that are doing stuff and they're on top of their shit, and it just kind of motivates me, and they're the kind of people I want to be around. If you feel like you're not on top of your stuff and your friends aren't on top of your stuff, you're in the wrong circle, or else you need to motivate your circle to get stuff done, because believe me, I know you could be wasting 10 years hanging around with people doing the same fucking shite. So I'm actually cursing an awful lot in this. I need to tone it down.
Everyone does be saying it. That fucking shoddy fella, man.
Sorry, guys.
I'm only joking. No, definitely though. Like, it's who you're around, but I feel like now for the next 5 months I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm going for this, and it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice, and I fucking can't wait. I honestly cannot fucking wait.
You're going into ghost mode, but you have to. Like, the same as like you see boys that are fighting or whatever. If they're in a training camp or something, it's like, wife, kids, see you later. I'm heading off here for 3 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this kind of is not fighting, obviously, but you are going up against yourself to push yourself, and it's a camp.
That's it. It's a camp.
That's
the way I treat it when I'm doing it. It's like, right, I have this is what I have to do. Just work, fit it around work, and whatever else gets sacrificed. That's it.
Yeah, fair play to you, man. You're just always on the go, and it's so motivating to see, especially from where you've come from. Yeah. So any lads that is watching this, please just make a start on yourself. No matter how slow the progress is, it's still progress. And in years, or 2 years, or 3 years down the line, you'll be thanking yourself that you started today. Literally today. What day is it?
It's mad, because I look at stuff and I'm like, stuff like that I didn't try before, I didn't do. I'm like, if I had done that when I said I was going to do it now, I'd be fucking 5 years into it. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't. At that time, I never done it. But now I have done it. What I want to do. But like, I could be miles ahead. But at that time, I couldn't. I didn't. Like, if I would, I could have, should have. Do you know what I mean? I did it when I done it, and that's how it is. But like, you'd look back and you'd be like, if I had done that now, look where it'd be. But
exactly.
So like, you don't want to be like, because I did end up doing it. Do you know what I mean? And I done it when I was supposed to. But like, that's what you need to do, is just get it done.
Hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? Like, I was supposed to start my yoga in February, and I put it off obviously because of the whole fucking lockdown shit. And now I'm doing it now, and I'm still doing it online. So I should have done it back then, you know. Yeah. I don't know. People always say about times being right to do things, and to be honest with you, the time is never right to do anything at all. That's the way I always kind of.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned. The time will never be right. Whether my mate has always said it to me as well. He goes about having kids and stuff. He says the time will never be right.
Yeah, it'll just happen as
you
it
know,
happens.
opening a business, the time will never be right. You just have to be willing to take a plunge.
Take a plunge, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's it. Triathlons, Ironmans. You're just. What's the story with travelling now? Because this 5 months you were planning on going somewhere, were you?
I was going to Marbella in September. I'll probably still go, but I just won't drink, I'll train.
You just go to Marbella for training camp.
Yeah, I'll just be when I'm there, I'll just train, and when the lads are drinking, I'll have non-alcoholics. And
to be honest, you know, when I do book a flight, I'm going to be going and letting my hair down now, to be honest. I'm well overdue, especially working through this pandemic for the last 2 years or whatever. I'm definitely going to be.
That's it. But like that's the difference of I go over there and I drink, and then I'm after breaking me drinking, and then I'm like, right, then Halloween comes, I'll drink on Halloween, and like sure things like, so I have to just be strict, because I give in once, you know yourself, that's it. I don't have this goal now 5 months, and that's it. There's nothing gonna stop me.
That's it. You have to be willing to miss things, and I feel like I am missing things. Every second weekend I have the yoga college on, and then more than likely the weekend after that I'm working as well, and I'm getting calls to come to this, come to that event, come to this, do you want to do this? And it's like, it's all stuff I want to be doing. It's all shamanistic ceremonies and cacao ceremonies and all this crap, and I'm like, I'm missing out on all this, but I know that these sacrifices over the next 4 or 5 months is going to put me so far ahead. And the last thing you need to do is start missing your non-negotiables, because if you miss your non-negotiables, you're breaking a contract with yourself, and that's the way I look at it. And believe it or not, I have a contract written out to myself in my journal, and it has my signature on the bottom of it, and I haven't broke that contract yet, and that's the way. It sounds like a stupid thing to do.
It's not though.
But I seen someone doing it, and I was like, you know what? I am going to write a contract out to myself, and I am going to stick to that.
Tonight about this Ironman.
No, yeah, write a contract and put down 4 or 5 things that can't be changed. That's what a contract is. It's fixed.
Yeah.
Put down 4 or 5 things that you have to get done every week, and write a contract to yourself. Sign it, date it. Write yourself a little check then as well. Say, if I do this, I want to spend a couple of days with myself and go on a nice little trip around the place.
That's it. And like, to be honest, after you do your shit, like after I've done this, like went for a few drinks, I mean, after I do a marathon, I'll have a few drinks, I'll let loose, so you can get that, but just earn it. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just being like, just letting yourself down and go and drink it all the time, and you know, like, go do some and earn a few drinks. When you have them, you'll enjoy the bar.
Yeah, I used to just be on the gargle the whole time. I was saying before in the other podcasts and stuff, and like, you know, when you do actually put something in, like a marathon or whatever it is, or you stay off the drink for a long time because you need to achieve something, it's worth it more, like, you know, when you go out then. Even though I don't even want to be drinking, I had a few pints of Longford at the weekend there, so I think we had 5 bottles of Bulmers and 1 or 2 hot whiskies, and I was half jarred, like I'm not able for it anymore. So the drinking will be knocked on the head, and plus I'm just wanna.
It takes away too much compared to what it gives you. Like, do you know what I mean? It just takes away so much.
That's it. And when was the last time you had a good night? Probably the other night with the.
Like, yeah, like a good night. I can't remember last time I had a great night, but like a good night. To be honest, it just takes away. Like, I don't mind a few drinks. Like, I don't mind it. Like 1 or 2 points going out. It depends, and like, it's never really as good as you want. Like, you think it'd be.
That's it. I can count literally on one hand, I'd say, the amount of good nights I've had over the last 3 or 4 years. And that's not even a lie, because it just gets to the stage where everybody just goes out and gets absolutely obliterated drunk, and it ends up being a bad night, or someone gets lost or something, you know, that kind of crack. So that's why I kind of avoid the drinking thing as well, because I just don't enjoy it. I don't mind if it's just a few lads and we're just literally 4 or 5 pints and everybody's heading home. I sound like a dry old man, Jesus Christ.
You have to be, though. Considering
I used to be falling around fields after buying a bag of yolks off some fella. Here's me giving out about not taking the jab. Anyway.
But like, the satisfaction you get from hitting your goals is a lot better than what you get from a few drinks. Tell you that much.
Definitely. Would you say now hitting your goals is better than sex?
Saying that's my goal is this year, to lose my virginity.
Lose your virginity?
Lose my virginity.
This fella, you'd want to be fucking. I know, you want to have to dig that back up out of the ground, man. It stayed and buried a long time ago. Yeah,
it's a different thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, sex is sex.
But like,
good sex is good sex, though. That's our bet. I don't know, I think I'd take a good sex session now over running the marathon, to be honest with you.
A good sex station would be left worse.
That's it. Telling you, some women will break you up.
Oh, stop.
Trim that.
No
no one else mentioned.
It's all real here. This all goes
real
up.
raw and honest as always.
Oh, stop.
Fair play to you. So that's anything for next year now after? Like, I'm just kind of lining everything up for you. What's the next thing? I'm just going to have Jason broke up by the time he's about 30. By the time he gets to my age, he's going to be mangled.
Like, what's next after an Ironman? Like, there's going to be... I'll find it. Whatever it is, I'll find it. But I think this is, like, major. See, what I'm finding is, like, when I get this level of fitness, I don't want to lose it. Like, where I'm at with this marathon now, I'm like, I don't want to drop that. I only want to get fitter.
Do not, because I made a big mistake years ago when I went boxing. I was obviously fucking, the boxing coach was a Russian fella, and he's an animal. He's in his late 50s, Eugene, sicko. He thumped the head off you, but he was like doing circuit training on a Friday night there, and it was, usual kind of stuff, swinging kettlebells, beating tires, and he was like, that's all you need to do. And I was like, kind of went away from any strength thing, and then when I came back to it, I honest God was as weak as I can. And I was like, I should have kept my strength training, and I'd advise any young fella to keep their strength training up. You as well, you're after getting such a good level of like cardiovascular health. Keep that up, because it'll translate and it'll carry over so much towards your heart health in later years, especially when considering you suffered with high cholesterol and everything when you were a few years ago. What was it? No, it was only last year, was it?
Yes, what, 9 months ago? What are we now? 10 months ago. 11 months ago, because we was 6th of September. My birthday was 7th of September. I was in hospital last year.
It's mad how the years after flying by, isn't it? All these years, the last 2 years, since 2020.
Since COVID, this has been mad.
It's just rolled all into one. And you know what? I honestly God can safely say it's been the best period in my life, because I was on this buzz before COVID kicked in, and it's just I've just met so many other people on the same buzz.
Yeah, we kind of just all found each other.
Since the whole lot happened, and it all happened down in that little, as you said last time, was that little zone.
Down the shelters, yeah, where everyone kind of just...
Little piece of heaven down there.
It's madness though, like, because I had the first lockdown, I went heavy, no work, like work was finished, everything, so we just, a few of us quarantined together in one of my mates' apartments. Oh, it's heavy shit.
The fucking dungeon, that's it. It was like...
Stop, like, it's mad the difference, like, if you could actually see myself then, like, it's fucking, it's a different world. Like, I went through that, and then the second, like, when the second thing, when lockdown came in, it was like, right, when I was sick, obviously all that happened, and then the second lockdown, I was like, right, head down, like, and this is what I'm doing now. I'm just start fucking running.
I got injured at the start of lockdown. I actually done my cruciate the week before lockdown happened, and then lockdown happened, and I was stuck in the house with 2 dumbbells, a green, orange and silver physio band, and a yoga mat. And I was just like, right, this is mission not get fat, because I have the sweetest tooth any man walking the country ever has, and if I'm stuck in the house by myself, especially if I'm having a few joints or something like that, I'll end up eating myself. So I was just like, right, this is a mission now not to get fat, and successfully got through it. But it was tough, it was hard. That first lockdown was a killer, especially being injured and everything. So and I was by myself for a lot of it too. I was by myself for a good 2 months of it. But it was good that it was probably by myself, because I could have been in Longford and locked myself in a little dungeon with a few boys the way that you did.
I don't know. Like, and to be honest, that broke me. Like, I mean, that obviously fucked my body up, because at that stage I was just like on a bad one. Like,
now look at you.
Food and all. It's mad what you can turn yourself into. Like,
you have to be broken to be rebuilt, isn't it what to say?
Well, it's mad. Like say it took years out of my life doing that. Do you know what I mean? But then you're like, well, look at where I'm like now. Like, did them years still go off my life? I
don't know. I'd say you're after balancing yourself. You're probably after balancing it out.
I reckon I was doing all this Ironman and all. Probably gonna take a few more years out of life.
Oh man, I don't know. You see, they reckon all that endurance stuff is supposed to be like just such wear and tear in your body. You start breaking down and all that.
If you build it right, though, and like again, who says that? Do you know what I mean?
To be honest with you, a lot of the people that I had seen in the triathlon club, like as I was saying, that David Sheridan fella, he's an animal, but he does his yoga and stretches and the whole lot, and he treats himself like an athlete. Then you have some people, fair play to people in their 40s and 50s that are doing it, but they're only focusing on the running or the cycle or the swim or whatever part of the event that it is that they're doing. You have to be doing the other parts outside of it. Strength training once or twice a week, definitely, if you're doing any sort of running. Your stretching and your mobility, like we're always saying, they're probably harping on every episode of this podcast, but 5 minutes. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do now tonight? I'm going to set up a little 7-day morning challenge.
Do it.
Get people sorted out.
Even 3 minutes. Even a 3 minute.
This will only take 5 minutes in the morning, and it's literally just 3 things. I'm not even going to say it here, but I guarantee you it will set you up so much, and it's 3 of the most simplest things that you will ever do. So I'm going to sort that out tonight. Get that up on the B.A.M.N army. Get the B.A.M.N army jumping in on things, because honest to God, that is the only reason why we set this up, was to kind of say, right, well, us 2 big fat fools that were sniffing the heads off ourselves and God knows what else we were on, have kind of got to here, and we've kind of straightened ourselves out, and we're doing well for ourselves. So, and we're going to do a lot better. That's why I just get the. This might be a bit cocky, but I just feel confident in myself.
It's honest, though. There's a big difference between being cocky and being honest. I think if you're being cocky, you're lying.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You're like,
what's that Bruce Lee line? Did you ever hear that?
No.
He says, if I tell you I'm good, you'll call me cocky. He says, but if I tell you I'm no good, you'll know I'm lying. So that's the mood we're in now.
But that's it, yeah.
Yeah, good old Bruce Lee's good for an old quote. Who would you go to for quotes now? Would there be anyone now that you?
Not really, no. Just if I see something, I'll kind of pick it up. I write stuff down. Like a good thing a while ago was hard work is a talent. I think Alex Ferguson said it. It's like, that's quality. Do you know that?
That is true though, like, because you see so many boys that are just talented and they're lazy to get all the girls.
I think it's easier to be
and
talented.
they've the nice white boots and they've lovely, fresh haircut and the whole lot. Then you see some dog who's just like running them into the ground of training and probably not getting their spot as much, you know what I mean?
But then over a 10-year bit of time, it'll always show.
When the talent stops working, that's it. You're snookered. But what would you class as your major talent? This is a weird question to ask, but I'm just out there. As a major talent as a person, not in terms of like athleticism or anything like that.
Just like me personally.
Like, yeah, what would be a major trait that you think that that people appreciate in you?
Driven. You're very driven, yeah. It's very driven. Even I do a good bit of counselling and like talking to the counsellor and stuff. She just like I'm telling her about doing the B.A.M.N and then the reasons why I'm doing it and all that stuff, and she's just like, you just see like, yeah, you're just so driven. It's like, and you put your head to it, you'll do. Now if I don't want to do something, I won't. Like, do you know what I mean? If I have to really want to do something, and then that side of me will come out. But if it's something I don't feel like I want to do, or like I don't think it'll benefit me, or I just have no interest in it, you couldn't for love no money alone.
Are you doing the counselling along? That's interesting though.
About a couple of months.
And you find it good?
Good, yeah. I went because I was like, not that I was worried. There was a lot of shit I had to deal with, like with myself, just growing up and all that. And then it was like, all the training. And I was kind of like, wait, where's this? Why am I doing all this? You know what I mean? Is this healthy? Like to be doing this? And then I went out and found out why I'm doing it, and it all makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of put a lot of stuff together.
I think I could do it going on.
Honestly, like it's like best thing to do, especially when I wanted to do it while I'm in a good headspace. I didn't want to be going there and being in bits crying like around like that and having to deal with stuff while I'm in it. But like now I'm in a great time to deal with shit.
So you can talk about.
So I can talk about stuff and I can say things and I'm not going to lie, or I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm going to tell the truth, and like then you can work it all out while you're feeling good. So yeah, no, definitely recommend it. My job pays for a certain amount of sessions, but after that I'm gonna keep it on maybe once a month.
Are you doing it face to face or on the phone?
No, it's all Zoom.
See, I've done 2 with work over the last year. One was when I popped my knee. I was obviously a bit depressed and I was annoyed about it, and then I done one recent enough, but I just didn't find.
The girl I got's very, very.
I just didn't find any benefit to me because I was just talking to a screen, and I don't know. That's just me. I'd love to be chatting to people face to face. I don't like people ringing me. If someone's in the city here and they ring me for an hour, I'm just like, here, where are you? I'll come and meet you. Because I can't be dealing with people on the phone, you know what I mean? It breaks my heart. Only the boys back home in Longford and a few girls back home in Longford I do ring and chat to. But I'd love to get into it. And
it's definitely worth doing. To be honest, it kind of was making me like, she was only saying to me next, like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what would you like to do? I was like, I'd like to do what you do. Should be like,
yeah,
but
definitely.
Then like, do I want to do it enough to do all the college and all that? Not at the minute.
Something similar though, like I'd love to like maybe sports psychology or something, because I have that health science and nutrition and the whole lot in the background. Like I'd love to get working with sports teams that way and try and, because you see, for me playing sports, I see like in clubs and stuff back home, it's just like one manager and he kind of manages the whole team, whereas I think it's very important, especially if you're developing young players or someone who's maybe suffering a bit with confidence problems or something like that, you need nearly like a little kind of floater in a team to win and be a man manager and boost these boys up and pull them when they're going wrong and pull them when they're going right. You know, I'd like to get involved. I'd love to do something like that. But you look, could we get everything done we want that we'd love to get done in one lifetime? You know what I mean?
I'd say you just need to pick what's important. That's why I'm just picking what's important to me now. I'm in a good, secure job. I'm comfortable, and I can train, and I can go do really what I want. I'm not restricted by money, so that's important. That I can do what I want. Then with that, I do work an awful lot, but it goes hand in hand with being able to do what I do and just making time.
I'm the same at work, like, but the only thing is, I'm just ready. Exit stage left now. As soon as I get myself together, and get this yoga thing done, I'll be out of there. Because I just can't be arsed working for anybody anymore. Simple as that. Just you enjoy your job. You have perks and stuff like that, like so. But I'm just done. I just want to work for myself. And simple as that. And I've always said to myself, I'm 7 years into this 10-year plan, and the 10-year plan was when I went back to college. I was like, right, get my degree, go and work for a couple of years, save a few pounds, then open up a gym. And I'm like 7 years into the plan now, and I'm like, you know what, everything is just coming well together now. I'm adding a few arrows to the bow, and I've 1 or 2 more arrows that I want to add. When I finish this yoga course now, I want to go and learn about Ayurvedic medicine and Ayurvedic practices, and that's all about improving your health before you end up getting sick, before you even need to go and see a doctor, and kind of there's so much into it. But that's another thing that I'm going to be adding, and it's going to end up
preventative medicine.
It's kind of it's kind of like focusing on health instead of your sickness, because what we have here in Ireland, what England have with the NHS, it's not, they say it's a health service, it's a disease management service, and that's all it is. You don't go to them and say, oh, I'm feeling top of the world today now, any tips for me? You go in when you're fucking on death's door, something bad is after happening, and they manage it and they treat you. So and it's important.
And look at them all. Look at all the people who run. They're all fat cunts. And I don't mean that like a body shower, but like, I'm not taking my health advice off someone that's overweight.
That's what I mean. Like, you see the people up in the door there, and like, you know what I mean? Stephen Donnelly is the minister. I'm not even getting into this COVID chat, but Stephen Donnelly is the Minister for Health, and the dude is a fucking engineer. And you're like, what's he going to be doing up there, you know? But yeah,
that's another podcast for another
That's
day.
another podcast. We're going to leave that off now because the blood is boiling here.
We call it at that then.
We call it at that. I have one question I want to ask you now before you go.
Here we go.
No, it's not even that deep of a question. Right, so you're going to take your week off next week. I want to know what way this trend is going. So you're taking a week off next week, and you're going to have your little romance. I feel like crying because Aislinn's such a lovely girl, and she better come back soon, because I'm not going to be able to listen to this fella. So you're going to take the week off, and then what is the first phase of the training? Is there like an area that you're lacking in that one of the coaches is going to say, right, we have to get you on the swimming first?
Confidence.
And the confidence. You're not lacking any confidence, man. You're like Mark Morrison every time I might take the sunglasses on.
I think it's just a mix. So it's just going to be, I was only talking to Dara there today, and so it's just great from next week. He's like, enjoy your week off because it's going to be getting on it straight away. So I don't really know. I don't know what the training is going to be, but I was asked about the swimming because that's what I'm most not worried about, because I'm not worried about it, but what I'm most curious about is getting the swimming done. So the swimming, he said, it'll be probably twice in the pool a week and once in the sea, or maybe twice in the sea, once in the pool a week. So like
deadly.
So that's what.
And where will you be doing it in the sea? Will you be doing it down here at Clontarf, is it, or?
No, whatever
he tells you.
Whatever he tells me, whatever. But down to Malahide, maybe, wherever. I don't know yet.
Exciting times.
Scary times. It's good though. It's getting me going. Like, I can't fucking wait.
But that's it. If you're getting a shiver, or you're getting a chill, or you're even feeling a bit apprehensive about it, it's like, will I be able to do this? And you're like, well, you're going to find out now in a couple of weeks. So put the hammer and tongs down, brother, and we'll be looking forward to getting the training done. 100%. End of episode 4.
Yeah.
Hope you've enjoyed it, if you're watching it. But we're going to be organising something soon. Whenever we do, we're going to work up the logistics of it and make sure that it's an evening that Jason has off, even if it was only once a month, that we got a few lads to meet up and got a bit of hard training in, and not even hard training, just a good training session in.
Go out for a chat,
got lads moving,
and
we sit and have a chat.
Just to be around people that you want to be around. Like, there's going to be a group, you go down there, there's going to be a group of people, and it's all going to be everyone that's like the way we are.
Yeah.
You get around that kind of thing, that's just how your lifestyle changes and your mindset becomes. So look, we'll stick it up when it comes, and like and subscribe on the thing as well.
Stay tuned, big things coming.
It's going to keep a lit, yeah.
Mind yourself.